What? I'm by myself today. What is shaking? It's your boy, Mark Cordone, Golden Mike, episode 9 Niner. It's the last episode of the 90s. We're going to do 100 episodes tonight. Today, hopefully, I'm waiting for my girl, Michelle Eggenberger, to come on today. This is what we're going to be talking about, y'all. This is what we're going to be talking about. Natural rebalancing secrets to stop stressing and start living the life you want. This is a good thing. You know why? Because like the holidays are coming up and shit. And like it's probably the most stressful time ever. Jorge, it's good to see you, brother. Jorge, the best of all time. Am I going to see you at 6 p.m. tonight, Jorge? 6 p.m. We've got the Golden Mike episode 100. Jorge, I better see you there. 6 p.m. though. This is episode 99. Episode 100 is going to be tonight at 6 p.m. I hope to see you guys there. So we're waiting for Michelle to come on right now. It looks like there's some technical glitches. So Michelle, I'm waiting for you to come on. A couple things that are we're going to be talking about today. Magic. Do you like magic? Because we're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about a mass hallucination. Have you ever had? I've had a hallucination, but I don't think I've had a mass hallucination before. Acceptance and love. We'll definitely be talking about. We're going to be talking about generating energy. How many of you are like kind of chill right now and you want to bring your energy level up? Illusion. This is going to be a good one. I hope you show up, Michelle. Illusion versus reality. And then here's another cool thing is how to change the world. Most of us actually think about, I'm not going to even say the secret. I'm going to let her tell you the secret to changing the world. So we're going to be talking about magic, mass hallucination, acceptance and love, generating energy, illusion and reality, and then finally changing the world. Mel, it's good to see you. Can you see I'm operating by myself today? I'm flying solo, waiting for Michelle to come on. Michelle, where are you? I'm screaming for you right now. I need you, Michelle. I need you to show up right now. Here's another thing. Yeah, I want to know all the secrets too. Here's another thing, y'all. I'm going to put this up in the comments. I want you to get a reminder tonight. Boom. I want you to get a reminder tonight. That's not right, God damn it. I want you to get a reminder tonight of the 100th show, and by clicking that link, you're going to get a reminder. Let me see if I can get that. Let me see if I can get this link right in the show notes. Michelle, I'm waiting for your ass. You better hurry up because I'm going to like go and eat Taco Bell pretty soon. Let me go and find it. Give me some love. I'm going to go and do a solo Golden Mike if need to. I can do it. Yeah, that's right. I'll do an entire show on my own. Is that link working, you guys? Jorge, Melanie, is that link that I put up here working, or do I need to make it clickable for you? I'm going to see if I can make it clickable because it's cool. It's super cool. Michelle, I'm calling you in. Okay, here we go. Boom. You click that link that I just sent. All of a sudden, I'm going to magically talk to you. I'm going to magically talk to you. So remember tonight, it's the 100th show. The 100th show is going to be awesome, but the 99th show, like, you can't go wrong. You cannot go wrong when you're talking about fucking magic and mass hallucination, acceptance and self-love, generating energy, illusion versus reality, and changing the world. Michelle, you know what? If you're not here in a minute, I'm going to start talking about magic and mass hallucination because I think I could talk about that. I think I could go there with y'all. So we're just going to, and it is a good hair day. Thank you. Click on the link that I'm showing you right now so we can do the 100th show tonight. Melanie, I hope you're going to be there at the 100th show. Jorge, you better damn be at the 100th show. We did like 88 of those shows with you, Jorge. So you better damn be there tonight. So 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're gonna have a good time. You know what? I'm gonna give out the book too while I'm at it. Let's give out a couple books for people who are watching live or on the replay. So let me go here. Boom. My book is coming out in a couple weeks, y'all, and I don't want any of you to pay for it. Right there, Book BR. Go and get it. Go and get it. So we're waiting for Michelle to still come in. Michelle, where are you? Where are you, Michelle? I'm gonna send her a message right now. Where are you, sister? Are you just watching me sweat? Are you just watching me sweat? Is that what you want me to do? Do you want me to sweat? Okay, she's replying right now. Wait, what do you mean you're already in? Untrue. Untrue. I'm gonna be going solo tonight. So there we go, Michelle. Michelle kept me sweating. We're bringing her on. Everybody give her a nice hand. Yay!
Yay!
Michelle, I don't know.
I'm waiting for you. I'm like, where is he?
I have no clue like what link I sent you, but I apologize to the whole Facebook world for cursing up a storm. But we got her. We got her. We got Dr. Michelle with us today. We're going to be talking about. Are you all settled in? Are you driving right now, by the way?
No, I'm not. I'm gonna tell you what happened.
What?
I'm actually at a wellness fair, a health and wellness fair, and I actually went out so we could have this special moment because I've been.
Oh, Mama, you're cutting out on me. You're cutting out on me. I can't hear you anymore.
Oh, hold on. Better?
There you go. There you go. That's the Michelle we all want to hear.
Yeah.
So you're at a wellness fair right now. I was just telling everybody, Michelle, that you are. We're going to be talking about natural rebalancing secrets to stop stressing and start living the life that you want. Now, how did you get into all of this stuff?
Well, you know, I was a person that lived the life that we all have told we need to live in order to be happy. I worked very hard to get into corporate life. I was working in an advertising agency, traveling a lot, working very hard, stressing myself out a lot, eating not really good foods. And basically, what happened was that I started getting really sick. I started getting really sick. First, it was just colds, then I got bronchitis, then finally asthma. And it ended up being that, like my doctor said, Michelle, well, for the rest of your life, you're going to have to take steroids and an inhaler, and that's it. And back then, I wasn't even 30, and I was like, this cannot be it. At the same time, I was very anxious. I smoked a pack of cigarettes a day, you know. So basically, I decided, well, I want to try something else. I started doing acupuncture. I started practicing yoga and meditation, and I got into like nutrition. And basically, within a year, I was asthma free. And I was like, wow, if I can do this for somebody else, this is what I want to do. So I worked full time, but I studied full time at night, got my doctor's in Oriental medicine. And as soon as I had that, I was like, see?
Now,
Yeah.
now, Dr. Michelle, were you at first skeptical when it came to like going to get acupuncture? Because Western medicine does not talk a whole lot about like the limbic system and stuff like that. Like, what were you like? What did it take you to go to an acupuncturist? What was it? Friends? Was it? Was
Yeah,
it you
well,
working
a
there?
friend, you know what? A friend of mine told me try acupuncture, and the honest truth, I had no idea what it was. I thought it was just like a little bit of like voodoo needles. That's all I knew. But at that point, you know what? I was so in so much pain and suffering, and I was like so fed up with the same thing that I said, no, this I'll give it a try. And it's important that, like I mentioned, that it was a holistic approach, because without me knowingly, like instinctively, I started transitioning. I started looking for yoga. I started like reading more about nutrition. I started going more into my spiritual life, which is key, you know which is really
Mhm.
key to go through the whole thing. So that's what um got me to actually start doing it. And once I start seeing how I felt, you know and realized how it improved my life, not just my health but everything else. I was more calm, I was more peaceful, and all that. So yeah.
Now, I have to tell you, my partner had me try out acupuncture for the first time
Yeah.
in my life, and like for the 3 days, I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. And then like the 3 days afterwards, I was so like, yeah, nothing bothers me, man. Like it's all good in the neighborhood. Like, did you feel like, I don't know whether that was a placebo effect or not, but I loved it.
No,
I loved it. Like I felt so
no.
grounded and chill.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, that's the secret, that's the thing. Like, your body starts producing endorphins and serotonin naturally, the feel good hormones naturally. So, like, a lot of people say to me, well, I don't believe in this thing, but just, put it because my spouse wants me to try it, and we'll start it and we'll do it. And then they're like the biggest fans, and they become like the biggest promoters because of how you feel. Now,
Yeah,
with the concept of placebo, it doesn't matter if
yeah,
if if what type of doctor you are, what type of thing you are. If the person believes, it will have an effect. If you believe, you know it
yeah,
will have an effect in your body. So it does create that, but it's most important that the person actually, like, once they experience and that belief that, oh my god, I do feel better, is going to potentialize your feelings even more, like 3, 4, 5 days.
I absolutely love it. So what actually happens when people work with you? Or do you do acupuncture? Do you do I think that in Eastern medicine the idea of psychosomatic is different. Like,
Yeah.
well, what do you do versus that's different than Western medicine?
Well, what I do is very, very unique in that my approach is body, mind, and spirit. The first thing I do is, like, a lot of people don't know that acupuncture is just one of the tools of Chinese medicine.
Mhm.
So, in order for me to treat you, you don't have to be here and me to put needles on you. Because what I do is I actually, yeah, the first thing I do is we'll go and I'll see the whole of your energy. I'll see the whole part of your medical history and see how to balance the five elements of your body. The five elements of your body is what actually, like, traditional Chinese medicine is based on. The yin and yang and the five elements.
So what
So
are the five elements?
the five elements are water, okay, fire, okay, a metal, and wood, and earth. Okay, and
Okay.
all these elements have an organ, and they're represented. They're a system in the body. They have an organ, an emotion, different symptoms. You as a person represent certain elements. So let's say that you keep on getting, like, certain type of conditions. Like, you keep getting the same type of conditions that maybe a friend of yours is not going through the same thing, but they're not getting the same thing. That's because you're represent a certain element, and
Wait,
that.
so hold on, you can do this from a distance?
Yes, yes,
Then
yes.
fix me right now. You are 5 minutes late. Fix me.
Well,
No, but what do you mean by you can do it from a distance? Is it more so like, I see they take an assessment,
yes.
and then from that assessment you give them a lifestyle change, or
Well,
is it?
from the assessment, what I'll do is, like, first of all, I'll give you, like, I work with Chinese herbs, okay, and functional medicine supplements. So I
Mhm.
I mix those two things and I give that to you. Then we talk about your nutrition, because even food has an element and has energy. right? So the food that you take will affect your emotions, your mind, your spirit, everything. So we talk about that. Then we do actually also work on your beliefs and your thoughts, because thoughts are also energy, right?
So interesting. So
Yeah.
interesting. So let's talk about this. What does magic have to do with all of this?
Magic. Yeah, well, you know what? Magic is the program that I do. And why did I do it like that? Because most of all, when we hear energy, everybody thinks like, woo, like voodoo needles. Like,
Yeah.
they think like energy, woohoo. Well, it is and it's not, because basically your body needs energy to function. Your body transforms food from like to ATP to energy that your body needs. So when we're talking about my program specifically called Magic, the first thing is that when I work specifically with like people suffering from stress and anxiety. So the M represents understanding the mass hallucination we're in living in and why we're stressed all the time. It's not just you. A lot of people that come to me is like, is it me? No, it's not just you. The world, you know, creates this type of environment that we're running around like crazy chickens, trying to get our bearings. So basically, you know, one of the biggest things that obstructs our joy and our happiness is our expectations. The
Mm.
expectations that society sells to us, the things that we believe we have to have in order to be happy and and joyful. I have to be this person, I have to have these things. I expect, and a lot of times the expectations that we have from ourselves and from others have been put there by society. So when we start seeing that and understanding that, then we move to the next step. And this next step is acceptance and self love.
Well,
Yeah.
let me go to the mass hallucination piece one more time before you go there.
Yeah.
Why does mass? Why is mass hallucination such a big thing? Like, why do we subscribe to it? Why does it exist in the first place? Why doesn't reality just exist? Like, why is a mass hallucination put out there in the first place?
Well, because I think that a big thing of us, like as human beings, our need to belong is huge.
Hmm.
We want to belong. We want to be part of. We want to be part of something. You know, and then there is this great minds, great in quotations, minds
Yeah.
out there that understand this and say, well, in order to do that, let me appeal to your feelings and emotions and your psyche. In order for you to belong, you want to be part of this mass of people, you want to belong, then you have to become like this. Then that's how advertisers work. Hello, I
Yeah.
was in advertising. It's basically we see your, what is it that you want, what's your, what are the emotions that trigger you in order for you to feel like you belong. And that's how they sell you into this idea that you're not enough, that you need more.
So it's manipulation.
you know
It's manipulation. It's
yeah.
based on a core feeling. I know that I was reading the other day that our feeling of wanting to belong actually comes from when we used to live in tribes. And when we used to
Exactly.
live in tribes, that feeling of needing to belong, that's what kept us all alive and kept us together. And now that we've outgrown that, like, advertisers are abusing that.
Exactly. Like it's like just like fear was a part. It's a part of our brain, of our reptilian brain, to survive. The idea to belong was exactly the same. It was for us to stay together in order, like, okay, we'll sleep, you'll take care of like watching over and seeing if the dinosaur night, you know,
Yeah, exactly.
right?
Exactly. We
So,
got
but we've moved from that to actually, in order to belong, we have lost connection with our true selves, because we see all the time we're getting this, on the phone. Like, I don't know, you might be on the car and you might hate a song, but all of a sudden, because you've heard it so much, you're like,
stuck
you
in
know,
your head.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
like Christmas music is right now.
yeah,
So Melanie Klein is saying media literacy and magic all in one conversation. I'm hooked. She's totally hooked. Look what
yes,
you've done, Michelle. Look what
good.
you done. So the next piece, then, it would make next logical sense that instead of trying to strive for a sense of belonging and paying for membership, right, through the things that you buy through advertising, I've got this status, I've got that status. You go and you work on yourself, right?
Yes. Well, the idea is that after you understand, like all this, like all this. I'm sorry, I'm starting to turn my car on because I don't want my battery to die. Um, um, this is like, see, but we go with the flow. Um, because we wanna make sure that that once you understand that and you understand how the
are really what's causing your suffering, then before you start trying to change anything, you start cultivating self love and compassion, acceptance of who you are without the labels, without all these expectations, right? Does
Yeah.
that make
So that makes total sense. How do we actually go about beginning to cultivate the self love and the acceptance? Oh, I'm losing you, Mama. We can't hear you again.
Okay, hold on.
There you are.
Yeah, can you hear
Yep.
me?
Yep.
So, well, the first step of acceptance and self love comes first.
Of course, when she goes and tells us the first step, it goes blank. What? You're gonna have to repeat that again. You're gonna have to repeat the world's greatest secret right now.
Oh,
The
sorry. The first step is awareness. Okay. Becoming aware. You know, a lot of times we believe that in order for us to have a big transformation, it has to be huge. It has to be a huge awakening.
You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me. We can't hear.
Oh, sorry, I don't know
There
what's
you
going
go.
on.
And when you're getting it, while you're fixing it up, we got a lot of people. Ina, it's good to see you. Hello, my people. Ina, I will see
Hello,
you tonight.
Ina.
We will see you now, and then we'll see you again at 6 o'clock for the 100th episode. Walter up in Canada. We can become aware of the stories we tell ourselves. Do you believe in that, Michelle?
I'm sorry, you broke up. What did you say? I'm sorry.
Yeah, now it's my side. Walter wrote, we can become aware of the stories we tell ourselves.
Absolutely, absolutely. One of the things that the stories that we tell ourselves, a lot of times we don't know where did they come from, because they've become such a part of who we are that we believe that they're us, right? We don't
Yep.
even know that they came from our family. Maybe they came maybe from us watching television, watching all those times. For example, for women, since you're a little kid, you're told that you know until the man comes, your prince comes, your life. No,
Your knight in shining armor.
sorry. So all these changes, all these beliefs, a lot of times we don't know that they come from the outside. So becoming aware is a huge step into really getting to know who we are, who you are, what are you about, you know and loving that person that you are.
And
you know
that is such a big deal. Like all of a sudden, when you become aware of something, you realize that it did come from the outside world. It was imposed on you. It wasn't something that was necessarily you. It wasn't necessarily something that you ever wanted. It was something that was almost indoctrinated into you. And it's almost like if you don't want this, then there's something wrong with you. So,
yeah,
like, I can see how internally we build this mechanism that, oh, there's something fucked up about me. Everybody else wants the 3.5 kids and all the things in the commercials and all the things the advertisers are spitting at me, but I don't.
exactly. So in
Okay.
order for you to like be part of that, like I got married at 37 years old. I have my first kid at 38. But coming from a Latin culture, my train had passed. I was not gonna. I was a spinster, And how can you have? But if I subscribe to that belief, then that would have happened because of my belief, not because of the reality of it, but because of the belief that I was having behind it. So a lot of times, like, the first step is becoming aware that this is happening, aware that, the reality that you see out there, like everybody moving in the same thing, is not, it doesn't have to be your reality, and that your life is unique, and that you're unique in your own way. And when you start accepting who you are and loving who you are, then you can start moving past that, and you can start loving and accepting others for who they are. And then your world opens up,
Mm, mm. So tell me about when you're working with your patients, like what kind of experience are they having as they're having this awakening, when as they're having this state of woke, as we call it, awareness state. Is it a state of freedom? Are they scared? Are they angry?
Well,
Because I see a lot of different things happening.
yes, all of that. Well, I have to mention too that because I work body and mind, when I start moving the energy body, like, right, the energy of the body, right, it will create different states. So a lot of emotion gets trapped in the body. A lot of emotion gets trapped in the body. So when you start moving the energy of the body, things will start coming up, right? Good things and not so good things.
Yeah.
When you start awakening and realizing, oh my God, I have had, people literally start crying and realizing, wow, I can't believe that this makes so much sense. I can't believe that I'm still trying to please my father, who has been dead for 10 years, and I'm still living my life to please him. And oh my God, I didn't realize this. And
Wow.
like, I've had wives that have come to me. Like, I have a wife that came to me. She said, like, I don't know what you're doing to my husband, to my husband, but I have to work with you because what I see in him, I want that, you know
Okay.
so
That's awesome.
yeah.
That's awesome. By the
And
way, Robert Heath, Gregory Nesmith, Sarah Nannon, Devon Grilly, we all see you. We see you. I hope you're enjoying the show. So what were you saying, Michelle? Sorry.
sorry, hi guys. Well, the other thing that I was saying, you will get some resistance, as well, because when you start putting things out there and noticing, like what I was saying, where these beliefs are coming, and questioning that, it can be painful. you know it can be painful to realize, like, oh my goodness, I have wasted time. But as I said to him, you've never wasted. Everything's perfect. You are in the right place at the right moment, and this awakening couldn't have happened before. You're right. At this moment is the perfect time. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Wait. So this is with a couple crushed up leaves and some needles that this is happening, that you're moving around energy? Or is there are you doing other things to move around the energy?
Well, what I do a lot, life coaching as well. I do life coaching. I'm a yoga teacher as
Mhm.
well. So I do a lot of meditation and visualizations throughout the program, that I do with them. So we go into, like, how we were talking about in the mass hallucination, how you're hearing things over and over and over and over and over, kind of like a programming. So in a way, you start looking for, when we said first, the self-love and acceptance. So when you start understanding, and the other big thing is that I teach my students a lot, my clients. I teach them about, how what you do, your lifestyle, your thoughts, your food creates energy, has a specific energy. So if you want to have joy, if you want to have happiness, if you want to be peaceful, then you want to cultivate all those things in your lifestyle, in your thoughts, in your food that you're eating, and not the food that you're eating here, but the food that you're putting in your brain, that you're listening, that you're bringing into your world, you know,
Yeah.
how it's gonna change you. So by doing all this, that's how I'm getting all this success
Yeah.
with clients.
Well, it looks like when you put all those modalities together, I mean, it already made sense even with just the acupuncture, but it's already making sense too. The big hallucination being that you are incomplete unless you purchase this. You are incomplete unless you purchase this. And I think some of what you're doing, whether it be body movement, right, acceptance work, acupuncture, releasing some blocked energy, would be helping someone get back to, you're fucking fine. You're perfect. You're
Yeah.
perfect where you're at. You haven't wasted time. No. I mean, you have a baby whenever you want to have a baby. Those are social mores that are constructs. They're
Yeah,
constructs.
exactly.
Okay.
Like breaking breaking those beliefs that no longer serve you.
Mhm.
Cultivating new beliefs that will serve you. Living with intention. Living with intention and taking away. It's not so putting more things, but just taking away, stripping away what does not serve you. To see
Now
that
what
beautiful light that is within you already.
now what do you mean by living with intention?
Living with intention being like wherever you put your energy, that grows. Where you focus your energy, that grows. In Chinese medicine, when we're looking at the meridians, which are pathways of energy, you know, we use the needles in specific points, right? To move that energy. And it's amazing what happens. You can see it physically, like how it can actually move, you know?
Really?
Yeah. So you have the person feel like, I feel warm, I feel the, but where what I'm talking about is that in your mind and in your consciousness, when you're talking from that deepest place in your heart and you're focusing the energy of your heart on living the life that you truly want to live. A lot of times we're living like the zombie life, like the 9 to 5, because that's what we're used to, because it's like I'm in autopilot, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of times when we're not happy, that stress, that anxiety, that uh, maybe even depression,
Yep.
is your soul talking to you to wake up to the life that you're meant to live. And only you know what that is. It's not the advertising. It's not your mom, although she loves you with all her heart. It's not your girlfriend or your spouse. Only you. And when you dare to go within yourself and open that heart, open that and listen to the heart and actually move forward and focusing all your energy into living the life that you want, then you're living with intention.
Now, Michelle, would you say that everyone has that intention in them? Because I'm sure that when you first work with people and you're like, what is it that your heart is saying? They're like, I don't know. I have no idea. I'm
Absolutely.
so
Absolutely.
you think that every person has that in them?
Yes, but that's
Okay.
the discovery. That's the becoming of the journey. A lot of times we're so worried about getting there that we don't enjoy that becoming, that opening up, that discovering. So when you're doing this work, you're taking all these layers out to see what is really inside your heart. And it doesn't have to be from here to tomorrow, especially if you start understanding that you're always becoming. You're always becoming. You might get here and you're always becoming. Yeah?
So it's right. It's right now. It's not what you ultimately are and stay. It's what you are right now, and pursuing that, and being that. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah. I mean, like
Yeah.
it's always, it's so funny because in Chinese medicine we talk about the yin and yang, right? The light and the dark. It's
Yeah.
always, and life is this dance between you know it. Even we are happy, we're joyful, but sometimes you have to have your downtimes because if not, you cannot see it. You cannot appreciate it. There's always like that, right? The same thing when you're becoming. You might get to a point where you're like, yeah, this is it. And then things will change. And then you adapt to change and you move to change and you go in this dance with life. But you're aware of it and you're a conscious participator of it, not a victim, not just, like living in autopilot, but being aware of it and just being fully awake, in who you are.
I love it. Walter wanted to say state management is very effective to shifting our thermostat of success perception. I think I know what that means, Walter. But are you picking up on that, Michelle?
Well, I wonder what it is for him that success is, because that's a
Ah,
big question too. We're
awesome.
we're always talking about success and what it, like we have to be successful. but your idea of success might be very different from mine, and only
Sure.
you know what success for you is. So if you're looking to fulfill somebody else's success, that's again a way of you creating more expectations and attachments that will create suffering in your life.
Absolutely. Sarah Liz, we see you. So thanks for tuning in. I want us to talk about generating energy now, because we've talked about moving energy,
Yes.
shifting energy. But
Yes.
what are you actually meaning when you say generating energy? Because that sounds that's a much different concept than shifting it.
Yes, when we start talking about generating energy, and that was in my program, is the third part of the program. We talked about mass hallucination, we talked about the acceptance and self-love. Generating energy came afterwards, because it's very important that you understand that everything that you will be doing will be based on self-love and acceptance. Okay, so when we're talking about generating energy, we're talking about what it is that you're putting into your body, into your psyche, into your being, that constructs the energy of the body. Like I said before, like food has energy. My teacher, my spiritual teacher, he used to say, you eat fried, you will feel fried. You know, when you're eating live food, when you're eating healthy food, when you're feeling food that is alive. And it depends, in yoga there's different states of being, and all these different states of being are supported also by the food that you eat. So for example, in the yogic philosophy, there's very specific food that when you want to elevate your spiritual consciousness, that you will be eating, and some of them that you will be avoiding, because they will increase the desires of the body. So if you don't want to be focusing on the desires of the body, but you want to be more on the spiritual realm, then you will eat certain foods, or avoid certain foods like garlic and onions, for example. They stimulate the passions in the body. So if you're trying to practice, let's say, brahmacharya, celibacy, that is very important in yogic philosophy, for example, then you don't want to be eating that, because you get very romantic. And you want your focus on the spiritual place. For example, generating energy also we're talking about how are you generating energy by the people you're surrounding yourself with,
Mm.
by the programs or news that you're letting your mind be for, by the things that you're listening to, you know, by what you're telling yourself as well, what you're telling yourself. So all these different things generate energy. And when you start becoming conscious of this, then if you want to generate positive, forceful, passionate, happy energy, then you want to be conscious of what are you eating, thinking, listening, and putting and surrounding yourself with.
Okay, so I think you just answered this question, but what would you go and say are three specific things that we should either eat, listen to, or surround ourselves with to very quickly generate joyous, happy energy for us?
Okay, first of all, one of the major things, one of the biggest things is appreciation. Focus
Hmm.
your energy and appreciation, because that will generate all this gratitude, all these good feelings right away, right? The other thing that I would tell you would be surround yourself like with people that are in that same space that you are, that you want to be in. People that uplift you, people that are in that same, let's go, let's do it. Like I talk to you and already my energy is just, because and so I want to be surrounded by, you might love a friend of yours that calls you all the time to start telling you about the bad things of the world. Then with all the love in your heart, you have to put a little bit of boundary, so you don't start taking that energy,
Sure.
right? And the other thing that I particularly always go to is prayer or meditation. Okay,
Hmm.
because that's where the real power is. Like a lot of times we think about energy, about like full force, screaming and all that, but a lot of the real powerful, most sustaining energy comes with the peace within. So when you're quiet, you know when you're quiet and go into prayer and go into that space that only you can go to, that will definitely generate good energy for you.
Okay, so I'm writing it down for myself. I hope you guys are writing it down for yourselves. Gratitude, the people you surround yourself with, and meditation or prayer.
Yes.
Um, Instantaneous ways that we can move up the joy, and create more energy for ourselves. So I wanted to ask you about this one now. Oh, I couldn't wait for this one. You have a distinction between illusion and reality. What are we talking about here when you're talking about that, Michelle?
Well, when I'm talking about illusion and reality, I'm talking about what it is. Like, we see the world as we are, not as the world is.
Hmm.
Okay.
Mhm.
So basically, your state of being, of mind, will determine your world, right? For example, I always tell my clients, they're sitting in front of the desk when we're talking, or in their house, and I say, a chair is just a chair, right? You see the chair, and the chair is just a chair. Now, if you think the chair should be white, you might start having negative feelings to the chair, because if the chair is brown and you thought it should be white, then I don't like to sit in the chair because the chair should be white and it's not, you know, right? Right. So, or if you think, you see the chair is white and you love white, you love sitting in that chair and the chair is great. But the chair is a chair. It's your perception of your reality. That happens with everything. When you're in a relationship, let's say, your spouse, your partner comes and says something to you, right? They say something to you and you get very affected about it. You get very sad. But the reality is not what the person said, but it's your belief. Oh, my spouse should not say this, or the person that I love shouldn't be saying this, or should be saying things in a different way. That is basically, is your perception of reality what causes, your happiness or your sadness, right?
Yeah,
So
and
what
the shoulds will kill you.
the shoulds will shoot all over you,
Yeah,
right? So when you understand that, um, reality is what we have. And when you accept reality as it is, then your anxiety is gone, because you're not trying to make it different. You're just accepting what it is, you know, right?
now, do you believe, Michelle, that there is an ultimate capital R reality or capital T truth, or is reality in the eye of the person that's perceiving it?
Well, I personally do believe that there is ultimate truth, right?
Hmm.
But I believe that as long as we live in holistic reality, which is what we live here, right,
Hmm.
in this body, where there's up and down and black
Yeah.
and white, there is always going to be a perception. And the more that we clean our own mind and we clean our judgments and all that, that we can start seeing, the real truth.
Okay, gotcha. So let's go past illusion and reality. Let's go to change. Let's go
Change,
to changing the world, right?
changing the.
Like, and I absolutely love that. Like, if you haven't been paying attention to magic, mass hallucination, acceptance and self-love, that's the A. G is generating energy. I is illusion versus reality, and C in magic is changing the world. Talk about this idea of changing the world now.
Well, the whole idea of changing the world came from, be the change that you want to see in the world, right?
Mhm.
From Gandhi. Gandhi is
Yep.
one of my heroes of all times. And one of the things that I realized through my own, overcoming, was that the biggest gift that we have in life, not just for ourselves, but in general, is to be able to be of service, to be here to do something for someone else. Um, in fact, that's another great way, if you're feeling sad or depressed or anxious, to get out of it. Think about somebody else, something nice that you can do for that person, and it will absolutely change your state like this. when you start thinking about what can I do? What can I give? You know, everything that we do in this world is in order for us to be happy, right? We think, I want to be happy. I want to be happy and avoid suffering. That's what makes us the same all around. However, when we realize that we are all interconnected, and the more we take care of each other, the same happens to us. We're taking care of ourselves. So when you're doing all this process that I was talking about, the magic, at the end of it all, the real purpose of life is to be of service, to be light, to be the light. All it was like when you have a little tree of Christmas tree, and it needs all those lights to shine. When you shine and give yourself permission to shine, you light that little piece, that little corner of your world. I have one of my patients that he started, one of my clients, he started, his wife also started, her mom started, she's in Colorado, he started, whatever. And the transformation in that family, in that little community, is already great. And they have a little girl, and she's learning how to say her gratitude at night, and she's learning how to express herself with love and kindness. That is how we change the world. When we change ourselves, we become the light that helps change the world. It's easy when we see all these bad things happening around the world to get angry and disappointed, and they should be, and he should not be doing this, and they should be. But the actual control that we have, the only one that we have, is within ourselves.
Our
So
locus of control. Yep.
when we become the change, then we know that we're here to serve others. And that's how we change.
I love it. And by the way, Fiona, safe travels. She's watching us from her car right now. So safe travels as you travel down south. Michelle, you've said it all. You've said enough.
I've
all
said
right?
enough.
You've said enough. You've said enough. And this is what I know is going to happen. I'm going to have you back if that's cool. I'm going to have you back, and I want to go further and further into this. We're starting a podcast in the new year, and I want you to be one of the first members to join that podcast. Before I go anywhere else, don't forget our 100th episode is tonight at 6 o'clock. Michelle, Fiona, Walter, I hope you guys join us even for a little bit. There's a little link there that will remind you. Michelle, this is the deal. You know I'm a life coach. So I want you to do a quick visualization with me. Thank you so much for coming out. And so out of the roof of your car, all of a sudden, a golden microphone starts descending down the roof of your car and stops there right in front of you, Michelle.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Now this golden microphone translates into every language all across the world for 2 minutes or less. And the whole world is listening to what you have to say. So Michelle, your golden mic is live now.
Love yourself unconditionally so you can love everyone unconditionally. That's it.
Okay, I want you to take that golden mic. I want you to hold it in your hand right now.
Yes.
Can you take that golden mic and hold it in your hand? Now I want you to smash that golden mic down because you just dropped it like it was hot. Boom! Now I want you to make a big old wow face with me. Can you make a big? Because you were late. Everyone makes the wow face. Welcome to the alumni. Welcome to the group of golden micers. Michelle Eggenberger. I can't have a better person to close out the 99th episode of the Golden Mic Live. Everyone who's been watching, thank you so much. We're now going to start another 100. She just cut off, but this is your boy, Mark Cordone. I'm going to put in the link one more time to join us tonight. Oh, well, you already see it. It's in there. Join us tonight, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And for those of you who are still watching, Fiona, the rest of you, I've got a question for you. If you're feeling good and you're living life to its full purpose, what is your responsibility to change history for the better? Be the light. See you at 6 p.m. tonight. The 99th episode is over, baby. See you at episode 100. Take care.